Hey everyone, and welcome to Cooking Companion TV. I'm Jenna Edwards, and this is a recipe demo of preserved broccoli rabe, a very traditional Italian technique that you don't see in the US, and I'm assuming you don't see much out of Italy, or at least, very traditional Italian household. I recently took a poll of the audience here and asked if traditional recipes were of interest, and there was, so let's explore. Broccoli rabe is a bit polarizing, but I assume you like it if you're here. We all know it's bitter. It's probably why you love it. So let's first clean the greens. Remove any yellow leaves, which happens pretty quickly after the harvesting. So it's actually as soon as you buy them, try to do this the same day. The texture of these leaves changes and they stay brittle even after the cooking, and it's an unpleasant experience. So go ahead and pull those out. Now the stalks also tend to be quite toothsome, so I cut most of those off too, although having experienced the final product, I think they'd be fine to stay. Just remove the bottom ½ inch or so, since they'll be pretty damaged and extra tough. And roughly chop the stalks, mostly so you aren't dragging out long stringy pieces once you've jarred them. I've started washing my greens in baking soda to make the process more efficient, so just sprinkle some in and give it a good stir around and let it sit for a few minutes. Then rinse off the greens and continue like normal. Also, a side note, any of this washing water can be used to water your plants, even the water with the baking soda. Double check the internet for your specific plants, but mostly baking soda doesn't harm plants and can even be helpful. Just don't use salted water for your plants. That will kill them. In a large pot, add 3 cloves of garlic thinly sliced, 1 cup of distilled white vinegar or white wine vinegar, a tablespoon of salt, and 1 cup of water. Bring it to a boil to dissolve the salt, and then add the broccoli rabe and boil for just 5 minutes. As you saw, I used just 2 bunches, and I'm already regretting not making more. The broccoli will wilt fairly quickly, so I know it seems like it's not enough liquid for the volume of greens, but it will be. And toss around the greens regularly so everything gets a chance to cook evenly. Drain the cooking brine and let the greens cool, spread out on a kitchen towel. They need to fully cool, which will take only about an hour. From there, get your very clean jar and layer in the broccoli rabe with sprinkles of crushed red pepper. Then you'll cover with olive oil. Since I'm not yet sure what I'll do with the leftover oil, I'm using the oil we normally cook with because I'm thinking I can at least cook with this leftover oil once I eat all the greens, even though it'll taste like the greens and maybe vinegar. You'll want to push down the greens and make sure the oil completely covers them. The oil is protecting the food from oxygen, which usually allows the bacteria to ruin food, which is how this gets preserved. Ideally, you fill your jar, and I probably could have used a smaller jar and just really squeezed everything in, but lesson learned for next time. Now, the articles I consulted with for this suggest letting the greens sit for about a week before using so that the flavor can really set in, but of course you can use them immediately. And they should be good for a couple of months like this. You can use this on pizza, on sandwiches, on crostini. It'll do really well with rich, creamy cheeses and something salty or briny like prosciutto or even anchovies. It is predictably incredibly oily, so if you have the time, let it drain before using. Also, the vinegar flavor can be tasted in the greens. It's tangy, so be prepared for that, especially if you put it with anchovies. It's very, very tangy. I believe the preserved greens can be cooked regularly in pasta dishes or whatever, however you like to use it, but you will have that extra tang from the vinegar brine. So I took the cue from my American friend in Italy and made a little toast with sourdough, some leftover cheese, I'm not real sure what it is. Both melt beautifully under the broiler, and to be extra European, I flaked a Spanish anchovy over one of them. It's a lot of strong flavors, but a very, very satisfying snack that begged for an Aperol spritz. Now, according to my friends in Italy, it goes by different names depending on what part of Italy you're in, but jarred friarielli or pickled rapini is a common ingredient. Broccoli rabe is a winter vegetable, and while we have access to greens year-round, learning to preserve fresh vegetables is becoming more popular and more mainstream as we consider the impacts of food waste and the rising cost of access to healthy food. So old ways are becoming renowned. So tell me all about how you use your preserved broccoli rabe. The ingredients are below or at cookingcompaniontv.com/jarred broccoli rabe. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more demos just like this. I'm Jenna Edwards, and thanks for watching.